Well, hello there. You found us. Welcome to Nude Painting with Greg Simoneau, here on PAC TV, your home of Greg's Nude Painting Hour. So thanks for joining us. So now that you're here, you might as well watch us paint a beautiful scene, right? There's nothing nude painting. We're not going to be painting nude or painting nudes. So I know that is in the title, but I just used that title to draw interest and get people to watch, okay? So nothing nude is going to be happening here. Just so you know, I'm pretty sure we can't do that here on PAC TV. We might be able to do that on somewhere on the web, but not here. But you are watching Nude Painting with Greg Simoneau. And I guess the viewers at home could get nude if you want. I mean, nothing's really stopping you from derobing at home, right? I'm getting off track. Hopefully you checked the website and got the right products for tonight's paint, and away we'll go. Unless, are you still undressing, or? Oh, sorry, I made that face. Sorry, I mean, it's kind of awkward now that people at home might be undressing. That's all I can think about. Sorry, I'm making that face again. I mean, I can only think of the viewers at home in the nude now. It's a little disturbing. Okay, let's take a moment here. Let's get that out of our heads. This is how I like to start any creative work, is to just sit here and rub your naked shoulders like that. Get warmed up. Rub those naked shoulders, regular shoulders. I mean, it's your choice whether you want to wear clothes during this or not. This is public access, probably saying naked too much, but you are watching a painting show on public access, so you're our kind of folk, okay? You do what you want. But let's start off with just, let's not do that. And now I feel creeped out too. Okay, so we're going to be starting with a blank canvas. And now that I think about it, the canvas is kind of naked. So that's a little uncomfortable now. Okay, hopefully you got your, now I just can't stop thinking about this naked canvas here. It's really throwing me off. So hopefully you got your paints. These are for paint pours. Hopefully you don't pour paint on yourself. That's a little crazy. I mean, it is Friday night here on PAC TV, but you know, if you want to pour the paint on yourself at home, it's entirely up to you. You can send us your photos to just DM me. All right, so we got our paints ready, and that's like that. All right, let's get this over here for a second. Hopefully you've decided on the brush. I brought a bunch of different ones here, and there's brush hairs on the table. Hopefully there's no hairs on your table at home. Now we wouldn't be sure where they came from, right? Would we? Okay. Let's, before we begin, we're not going to be, like I said before, painting any nudes. We'll probably be doing like some mountains or shit, and, or probably some rocks and shit. There's probably some pilgrim shit, because this is like a Plymouth station. I didn't really think about what we wanted to paint first, but let's just take a moment to both visualize what we're going to paint. Okay, let me just derobe and we'll get to painting. And we'll be right back after this. Thanks. Okay, we're recording. Okay. Hi, my name is Greg Simoneau, and you're watching Photography Now with Greg Simoneau. Okay. Let me just start off by saying, be spontaneous, be dull. Watch Photography Now. Exclusively available on PAC TV, not available on Peacock or Amazon Prime. So how you doing tonight? How's it going, Dustin? Is this coming out good so far? Very, very self-conscious about this show. We're on Comcast 13 and Verizon 43. Is Tom here? I think that's Tom. Okay. You always get new faces. And is this guy in the shot? Okay. Oh, there's no guy there. Okay. Okay. Why it's called? I get this question a lot online from people. Why is it called Photography Now and not Photography Then? Because we show some old photos. I got my old film here. No one would watch a show Photography Then. So we're trying to be up to date, trying to be cool with the kids. That's why it's called Photography Now. And ever since we hit 1,000 episodes, tonight is episode 1053, and thank you for joining us. And it's been a very successful venture. I've had some fun with it over the years. Is the lighting good, Dustin? Yeah. It seems like ever since we hit episode 1000, the show's been going a little bit downhill. Just saying, Nothing against you, Dustin. You know what I'm saying? Just hang in there, guy. Okay. All right. You doing all right? Okay. All right. Tonight we have Ansel Adams will be joining us. And of course, Ansel Adams is, famous for his black and white nature photos, Okay. He's going to be joining us, show us how photography is done. And also another guest, Annie Leibovitz. She canceled when she had a prior engagement. So that's just a couple updates on who will be coming along tonight. And yeah. So before I get to some real good photos we got here, I just wanted to say check out my IG for my drone footage of Plymouth Rock, and some people have seen it. Manomet Point is on there, drone footage, and the also got a nice shots of the Super Walmart here in Plymouth. So check out my IG page, Photography Now with Greg Simoneau. Thanks. And if someone finds my drone, my contact info is on the bottom of the machine, because I'd really like to get that back. Lost it somewhere near the super center. It flew over the top, and I don't know if it's on the roof or came back down, or it's in a carriage somewhere. But I'd like to get that back, real soon, and put more stuff on the IG. Okay. So these photos here we got, just some photos to spotlight. Oh, I heard a beep. Is that a beep, Dustin? Okay. Just a reminder, you're watching Photography Now with Greg Simoneau. Beautiful, beautiful shot, Dustin. Beautiful shot. Yeah. Or of course, we'll add the graphics in later. Okay. All right. This first one, if we can get a good shot of it right here. Maybe if I do something like this. 1,000 episodes in, I think I would have had something better to hold this, but this is my Nana with my cousins, taken with a Polaroid SX70 camera. The one with the chrome body and caramel leather skin, you might know it. I'm not talking about the camera. I'm talking about the camera, not Nana. It's a perfect blend of form and precision. Okay, that one was about my Nana. Just kidding. Okay. This is the one where she decided to be funny and wear the shower curtain on Christmas. You can take a look at it there. Yep, Christmas 1970. Those were the days. Dustin? Yeah, he agrees, of course. All right, this next one, I also on the SX70, of course. This next one I call Nana and Her Jugs. That's what I'm calling this one right there. And I'm not talking about the Clan McGregor. Hi-oh! Yeah, okay. I was talking about the Scotch. And no, she was Italian, Sicilian. Just kidding. All right. 40% volume. The Scotch, not her nationality. Nah, just kidding. Of course. Yeah, that's my Nana, 100%. Keeping it 100, Nana. Thank you. All right. This next one is another Polaroid gem from the archives. Okay, there we go. And this is my aunt, and she was just done wrestling Donna Cristanello. And this was her Christmas wrestling attire. The winner received a Christmas dinner. And unfortunately, my aunt lost. She was able to smuggle a small goat home under her robe, which we didn't end up eating. We just played with it. And the back on that one, I wanted to show everyone, says Polaroid. This was a nice feature you could get, was a cardboard that would stick to the photo. Okay. I'm sorry, Destin, one of the stagehands is asking for an autograph. I mean, that's very unprofessional. Right in the middle of the show. I mean, in a minute, all right? Yeah, I got one more photograph. You know, all right, you know what? All right, I'll do it. All right, Greg Simoneau, okay. And there's the autograph right there. I mean, I get a lot of requests, 1,053 episodes, coming up in a Carl Pratt territory. Yeah. All right, just want to finish off this one right here with this little segment. But if we could get a good look at this one. This one is a rare photo. You're not going to see this one too much. This is a rare one of a young Raymond Bork. See that? And all he wanted for Christmas was a hockey stick. So we gave him a mini bike, and then he drove off without paying. This is what stores used to look like back in the day. All right, we're going to take a short break. And please enjoy these vintage Polaroid commercials, and we'll see you on the other side. Thanks. All right, so apparently we didn't have the rights to vintage Polaroid commercials, so we couldn't show you those. But basically, it was like this. Buy a Polaroid camera. And that was basically it. Okay, so our next guest is a country music star. He's just starting out. His name is Greg Country. So nobody would give him a chance. So he asked me real nice in the hall one day, and I said, okay, fine, you can come on my show. You get 2 songs, okay? And I've heard his audition tape. It's really kind of rude. So if you don't like country stuff, like that's rude. Yeah. And a lot of times his songs sound like he wrote them when he was drafting a fantasy football team. So that's kind of weird too. So yeah, there's that. And but fantasy football is country, right? I don't know. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Greg Country. Oh, thank you, Greg. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Pack TV. This one, my first one's called The Best 6 Hours of My Life. Thank you. So it's on our first date, a girl I used to know. I picked her up in my truck, and we were headed to McDonald's. The drive-thru line was long, and I told her I had the system that played the game Pong. She asked if I had the paddles, and I told her yes. And then I just drafted Jalen Waddles in my fantasy draft. And we ended up trucking on our first date. We ended up trucking. The next month she was late. We went to Gillette because she got tickets. Her kids couldn't go because they got rickets. I said I was excited to see Kenny Pickett's. She said, you want to watch a movie instead? I said, how about Lemony Snicket's?
And we ended up trucking on our second date. We ended up trucking, you guessed it, next month she was late. She said, "Look at my wet ass pussy." And I said, "Oh, whap." Turns out she meant her cat. So I got a cat towel and dried that pussy off. And then I ended up going to my fantasy football draft and drafted Jared Goff. And we ended up trucking on our third date. We ended up trucking, and she was late. She was really the one that got away. The best 6 hours of my life. And I hope she raised that kid right. Good night. Thanks, Greg. I hope y'all pick up my CD. It's available in the Pack TV gift shop. Explicit lyrics, of course. Explicit lyric warning. You might find tracks like, "Yeah, I kissed her on the mouth," because that's how we do it in the South. That's track number 1. Number 2 is "Cheeseburger Breath Kisses." Number 3 is "Making Out in My Truck." Number 4 is "McDonald's Ain't No Farm. It's my favorite restaurant." And many more great songs. Track number 5, "We're Making a Calendar." And number 6, my other hit single, "We Got Married in the Back of My Truck." Yeah, here's a little taste of that. Well, Pastor Al said he'd do us the honor of marrying us in the back of our truck. My best man forgot the rings, and I said, "Oh, fuck." We got married in the back of my truck. Many venues came and went. The Carmichael place wasn't heaven sent. We dressed up the dog. We even suited up the hog. 'Cause we got married in the back of my truck. And that's just a little taste of it. I had just put new rims on my baby. Got a rim job from my new wife, Katie. We got married in the back of my truck. The rod holders weren't having any luck. On the way to our reception, popped her zit because she has a bad complexion. We were introduced as a married couple. Boy, her breasts looked very supple. We got married in the back of my truck. It's not what she wanted, but that's what she got. I gotta say, she ain't much of a complainer, and I do like it when she removes her retainer. We got married in the back of my truck, got hitched, and with any luck, we'll drive off into the sunset. She took my name, no regret. How long we last is anyone's bet. I knew she was the one since the first time. Thank you. Everyone, give it up for Greg Country. Yikes, right? This next guy coming up is he's a WWE hopeful, and his name is Greg Simoneau, the Dad Bod, G47. I think he's trying to get a wrestling match. I don't know. He might be better as a wrestling manager, maybe. I don't know. So what are you guys thinking of Ahsoka, right? That timestamps this episode. Ahsoka episode number 7, am I right? The blonde Russian girl? Yep, she got in there. All right. Dustin, this is the first part that gets cut, okay? All right. So without further ado, everyone, get ready for it. It's the WWE hopeful, the Dad Bod. Yeah. Cut my music! Sorry, Dustin, I didn't mean to be so stern. But thanks anyways. That's right, business is about to pick up in here. The Dad Bod's here. That's right. So people say Dad Bod talks a lot of shit. Well, it's about to get knee deep in here. Dad Bod's got his eye on you, Seth Rollins. You might be the world champion right now. But you can't keep going around fighting the number one superstars. Don't you want us a tomato can to beat up? You got it right here in the Dad Bod. You can't play poker against aces all the time. Once in a while, you got to go against a little slick. Why not the dad bod? The perfect opportunity. Someone you want to wrestle that's been sitting on the couch for 6 months, well, the dad bod's been on the couch for 20 years. Nay, 30 years. Yeah, it might be so. My wrestling ability might not be that great. But I've scouted Seth Rollins. I've scouted you, Seth Rollins. I know your special moves. I know like you stomp on people's head. Well, look at this head. It moves pretty fast. And why would I want to do that? Why would the dad bod want to get in the ring with Seth Rollins? Well, for those of you at home, there's a little thing called the purse. And I'm not talking about a handbag, okay? Although that would be pretty sweet. The purse is the amount of money associated with a match. The winner's purse. And there's also a loser's purse. And if the dad bod would surely get his hands on that loser's purse, maybe. The first little bit of money, actually all of it would go to charity. A fiscally responsible portion would go. The first part of that money, dad bod's got some ideas. I'm going to give it to the sick kids in the hospital and them blind kids too. So I know I got my fans out there. And yeah, money's nice, but the dad bod's cooked up an even better idea for those kids. You ready to hear it? Cherry-covered cranberries in a chocolate sauce. It'll drive those kids nuts. The kids without dietary restrictions, of course. It'll make those blind kids go crazy. They won't know whether this is cherries or this is cranberries. It'll make them go crazy. They'll love it. And the dad bod, he also fights for the veterans, too, out there. I haven't forgot about you. So, yeah, I'll give a little money to the veterans, and hopefully you can watch the match because I know it's going to be on pay-per-view. I don't know what streaming services veterans have these days or at the VA hospital if they show dad bod matches. They might see dad bod matches every day at the cafeteria. I don't know. But let me put this out to you. I'll donate a little money to the veterans, but I also had this idea. It's a brilliant idea. We get a bunch of Pepsi, and we get a bunch of beer, and we're going to pour the Pepsi into the beer. A burpsy. And the dad bods will think that's so delicious. The veterans will think that's so delicious, they'll say, "Thank you, dad bod." Am I right? So those are just a few ideas, and I hope Seth Rollins accepts my challenge. And I'm looking at you, Seth Rollins. That's right. The dad bod's coming for you and that purse, whether it be the loser's purse or the winner's purse, like I aforementioned. And before I go, I'd like to just tell you one thing. I will see you at Survivor Series if you send me the tickets. And I will see you there in the ring, given that I can get the day off from work. And hopefully it's in a town not too far away because I haven't got the money for plane tickets. So hopefully it's a local match at Survivor Series where you supply the tickets and ask my boss for the day off. Thank you, guys. Thanks. That's not for the deaf kids. That's just my wrestling moves. That's my signature hand signals. That's not for the deaf kids. Sorry. Sorry, I stepped on some equipment back there. Sorry. All right, thank you very much. This one's called "I Never Had Pulled Pork Like That." I never had pulled pork like that. Cost me all the money from my hat. This might be a fancy place, but I'd rather have McRib all over my face. I never had pulled pork like that. Crunchy bits all over her tits. Just because it comes on a plate, it's not the best I ever ate. What'd you call that? Pork de la pulled? Get that shit out of here. I never had pulled pork like that. My favorite pork, comes in a bag. And when I'm done, I kiss the old hag. Barbecue sauce all over my lips. And you guessed it, barbecue sauce all over her tits. I never had pulled pork like that. I bet it makes your fancy friends real proud. Probably eat it and not very loud. I put your fancy pork all over my chest, and me and my truck take care of the rest. I never had pulled pork like that. I never will. This is Never Had Pulled Pork Like That, number 2. All right, hey Frenchie, get over here. I never had pulled pork like that. What'd you say? It was duck? Well, I don't give a fuck. Man, this place is really uptight. I think I might get into a fight. That pig is looking down from heaven, probably saying, what'd you do to me, Kevin? Never had pulled pork like that, and I can tell it's gonna make me cry. You don't get food like this in the South. I'd rather order from a clown's mouth. I never had pulled pork like that, but that would make this guy spat. What's this on top of this bun? I'd call that a scoop of pig cum. That's the end of pulled pork number 2. Thanks a lot. Hi, welcome to Extreme Coupon Clipping Corner. Extreme Coupon Clippers Corner. Okay. And this is where you can find up-to-the-date coupon clipping only here on PAC TV. Hosted by yours truly, Greg Simoneau. How's it going? Now, I know times have been tough, so I'm here to save you some money and let you know the ins and outs of coupon clipping. Ooh, maybe we should have like a little sound effect. Okay. Before we begin, you can find, for more coupons, visit us at extremecouponclipping.com/pactv/savings.extremecoupons/September 2016/update fall coupons/double coupons/getthedeal.org jumpercoupon.org.coupon.savings. So there's your home for all your coupon clippings. Just go to that website and there'll be all the up-to-date coupons right there. Just to let you know, we have the new fall 2016 flyer is out. This has a lot of great deals, so just go to your local supermarket. It's probably in your mailbox. For all the great mail carriers here in Plymouth, they do an excellent job. Thanks, you guys. So it's right there. Okay. People think that coupon clipping is hard and time-consuming, and hard and boring, and a waste of time, and not that easy and boring and hard. Well, we're here to tell you it's not. It's the opposite of that. And we're recording. Woo! All right. Thanks for watching tonight. This has been Nude Painting with Greg Simoneau. I hope your painting came out as good as mine. Good night.